5 years back, having finished my college in one of the prestigious university in the country, I asked myself, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? My parents had sent to me Delhi to pursue civil service or coming back with a professional job. But I chose my career, passion, something filthy, stinking, which is garbage or waste. So it's a humble journey how a postgraduate history student became a well-known professional waste collector, garbologist, and a social entrepreneur. So, why waste? India generates around 43 million tons of waste per year. Only 22% gets treated properly. The rest either ends up in landfill, ocean, or incinerators, which in turn pollutes the water we drink, poisons the air we breathe, and contaminates the soil which grows food to us. So I really wanted to do something meaningful, something socially relevant, something which leaves a mark behind me. So I chose garbage. So I came back to my hometown, which is 45 kilometers away from Calicut city, and started collecting garbage on a day. So people call me crazy, mad. My friends and well-wishers advise me not to take up this undignified, unrespectful job, and this is not suitable for a educated young person. So, what I did with the waste. So what makes me something unique? I've seen these kinds of pictures everywhere where I travel. It usually gets piled up and stinking. It gets deteriorated. So it's all 100% of waste. So once I started collecting garbage, I started learning its characteristics of waste, compositions of waste, and trying to solve it by bit and bit. So first things, I went to people, especially commercial shops and households, and give them dustbins and said, you keep 2 bins or bags, and I will come and collect your garbage. And around 70% people did that and gave me the garbage after that. The first lesson I learned, around 60% of the waste or the so-called garbage, which is actually biodegradable, which is so-called wet waste. So I had a little cow with me at my home. So we started with 300 kg per day. So whatever, especially fruits and vegetable peels, I used to give to my cows, which is 30%. The rest, using that same cow dung, I used to compost. There's a lot of objection from my neighbors and others doing this filthy job. There was another 40% material with me, which is non-biodegradable waste. And having got some training from some rack pickers and so-called kabadiwalas, I somehow sold off certain material, but still the material gets piled up. Now I also devised certain material, certain systems to compost the food waste, which brought to our homes, rather it's in apartment buildings. So the idea is that how do I want to solve this whole issue? So having solved these wet waste issues, especially food waste issues, I moved on to solve these plastics waste issues. So this is a simple process we do. We collect these materials, we bring into a facilities called material recovery facilities or resource recovery facilities, which we no longer call it as a waste. And we have loads of recyclers and users who manufactures new products from it. It's a process we follow. And we have a different we have a different processes like if it's dry waste, we segregate into different categories, like around 20 plus categories of materials. seems like this. So if you give me 100 kg of waste, I will pick up 97 kg of materials, which I can sell for average 8 rupees per kg, and which can be made as a new products. So simple, not technology. It's not a sophisticated technology. It's a very cost-effective model. It's the most eco-friendly model. So the model, you will not see any technology, you will not see any system which has good this much recovery rates. Only 3% material ends up either landfill or oceans out of the pure call garbage. So this is a one story of how I am solving the most complicated or grave issues in the most simple way. And today, the same model, we are managing 27,000 kg of waste per day while generating employment for 220 people and spreading across in 5 South Indian states. We're one of the 10 startups who got recently listed by the Smart City Accelerator. So the one things, so if you have a will, if you have a way, if you want to solve the problems, I come from a non-technical background. You just got into this, you learn by learn this. So it took me 3 years to learn all these things. There was a lot of non-recyclable materials which I was unable to dispose. I found that it has got inherent energy value. And certain cement plants came up to me and said, we're willing to take this as a replacement for coal. So I really wanted to, I really want you to think about this. Where is actually the waste coming from? Have you ever thought about the waste footprints or the plastic footprints? The kind of quantity it generates on a daily basis. Because I just, in a single day, actually look at this, all these beverage bottles. So actually, waste generation is not about, it's about all of your individual choices, your decisions, your lifestyles really affects. It's not that it's coming from somewhere. So if you can choose either a water bottles or you can choose either reusable bottles. You can choose a disposable paper cups or you can choose a reusable paper cups. So all this material, how is it actually? Snacks. So you may have a toffee, 1 rupees toffee. But have you ever wondered what happens to those plastic wrappers? It may ends up as one of the plastics which, in the ocean and which affects the animals. So it's all, when you order an online delivery or you're taking out something, a parcel, what happens to those materials? Where is actually it's ending up? Who is it actually affecting us? Napkins and diapers. It's the first time in my life I found a female sanitary napkins in the waste. I never knew what it was. So where are you disposing your sanitary napkins and diapers, which is neither biodegradable nor recyclables, which takes 500 years to degrade? So are we really conscious about while we choose a product or while we discard a product? Fashion and accessories. Every year, the per capita waste generation is increasing 11% annually. So by the time of 250, there will be 10 times of waste which we generate today. So where is it actually heading? So is there a solution for this? So I also propagate and promotes a lot of alternative products. If it's a sanitary napkin, these are certain innovations which is happening in our country. If it's sanitary napkins, there are a lot of combustible sanitary napkins, which it actually degrades. A lot of menstrual cups companies are coming up. So why can't we try that? Have you ever seen this? It's another interesting innovation which is happening. It's edible cutlery. Because I see a lot of, I organize a lot of zero waste weddings, conferences, exhibitions, food fest and all. 80% of those waste material which comes from such events are single-use plastics, papers, glass. So these are interesting innovations, edible cutleries. So after you stir the tea, you can actually, it's made out of jowar and rice and wheat. So another interesting products which we actually propagate, it's made out of sugarcane bagasse waste. It's once used to be a biomass waste. Now it's a beautiful products. So another, it's being, this is being done by a young group of, young ladies from Cochin. So they actually collects these so-called post-consumer beverage cartons and makes beautiful products from it. So what I'm trying to say, all this that, so waste, it's something, it's a result of our choices, lifestyles, and patterns. We cannot blame a third party for anymore. We will have to take up the responsibility, and all our decisions are really affected by it. So I kindly request you to 50% of the plastic waste which ends up in oceans are single-use plastics. Single-use plastics which doesn't, after 20 minutes we usually throw away those materials, which is a great threat to the ocean life now. And there are a lot of interesting products out there which really, doesn't harm the environments. So we can use those materials. And measure your footprints, measure your plastic footprints, waste footprints, and help others to collect it or recover it and reduce it. Thank you. Thanks for your time.